Now, here's the MLB Bro TV show, the best from MLBbro.com with Rob Parker. Let's go.
Welcome to the weekend. There were so many great stories on MLBbro.com this past week. In case you missed some, we'll take a look back. Let's start here. Telly Hughes has a bro combo with USA Olympic pitcher Edwin Jackson.
You're actually the last African-American to pitch a no-hitter in the big leagues, and you became only one of 9 African-American pitchers to accomplish that feat. When you look back on that, I mean, A, did you ever imagine you would throw a no-hitter in the big leagues? And B, once you stepped in that elite company, how has things changed for you?
Man, to be honest, I could never even imagine playing a big league game, period. So that's a blessing in its own. I was just playing to get to school, so to be able to put on a uniform and represent an organization and represent my family for as many years as I've done it, that's a blessing. I'm beyond blessed, and I'm definitely grateful for that. And to be able to be in that elite company, it's a lot of fun, man. I mean, it's something that doesn't happen every day. Obviously, this year it's happening a lot more, but it's still hard to do. You still got to go out and you still have to get it done. So to be in that group of guys who's throwing no hitters, especially as an African-American pitcher, man, it's a lot of fun.
A bro you need to know, slugger Cecil Fielder. He was a 2-time American League home run leader. He also led the American League 3 years in a row in RBI, 1990, 91, and 92. Plus, in 1996, he helped the New York Yankees win a World Series. In 1990, Fielder hit 51 home runs and became the first Major League player to reach the 50 home run plateau since George Foster did it with the Cincinnati Reds in 1977, and he was the first American League player to do it since Roger Maris in 1961. In Detroit, Fielder accomplished a feat that no other Tiger had. He hit a home run over the roof of the old Tiger Stadium in left field. Only 4 players had done it in baseball history, and Fielder was the only Tiger to do it. On Swinging and Missing, Jayla Norman talks about the lack of diversity in MLB.
Today on Swinging and Missing, we are talking about a major miss that the MLB has had, which is its lack of diversity in analysts and field reports. Now recently, I'm sure you guys have all heard about the comments that Bob Brenly made towards Marcus Stroman, but Brenly recently said that he is now going to take some racial sensitivity training. And while that sounds good, the MLB needs to also make sure that it's hiring analysts who are diverse so that you don't have incidents like this again. The reason why some people need to take racial sensitivity training in the first place is because not everyone has the same experiences. And so some people need to get trained to learn better what other people in this world have gone through. And the MLB can make things a lot easier for themselves by just hiring talent who are diverse. Hiring talent who have different skin colors, men and women, can be a huge asset for the MLB, and it's a train that the MLB needs to jump on as soon as possible. But we definitely want to continue to see our MLB bros grow on the field. We do also want to see them off the field as well, and that includes hiring Black men and women to talk about the sport. I'm Jayla Norman, and this has been Swinging and Missing.
MLB bros represent on the baseball all-star ballot. David Grubb breaks it down.
I'm about to tell you about some all-star bros you need to know. All-star voting is already open. All you have to do is go to MLB.com each and every day, and you get up to 5 votes every 24 hours. So there's some great black and brown candidates this year that definitely deserve your consideration. In the American League, Marcus Semien has made a great case to be the starting second baseman. His .294 average, 13 home runs, and 32 RBIs set the pace at his position. And over in the NL, even though Jazz Chisholm has missed some time, his 7 home runs and .805 OPS mean that Jazz should be playing in Colorado too. At shortstop, Tim Anderson is maintaining his usual high level of play for the first place White Sox. And in the outfield, there are a number of familiar faces and some shiny newcomers to choose from. In the senior circuit, it starts with the Dodgers great Mookie Betts. The numbers have taken a bit of a downturn this season, but there is no denying him as one of the biggest stars in the game today. Trent Grisham has made a huge leap this season. Batting .301 for the Padres, he's a player on the rise on one of the best teams in baseball. And in the American League, Cedric Mullins is far and away the fastest riser. He's hitting for average, he's hitting for power, and he's playing center field like Ken Griffey. If that doesn't earn your vote, I don't know what will. Yankee slugger Aaron Judge should be back in the Midsummer Classic as well. He's been the biggest bright spot for the underachieving New York lineup with 14 home runs and 32 ribbies. And we can't forget about the Twins' Byron Buxton and his .370 average, for the Astros' Michael Brantley, and then of course there's DH Giancarlo Stanton. There's nothing wrong with stuffing the ballot box, so go vote each and every day until June 24th. There's your 2021 All-Star ballot, courtesy of us here at MLBbro.com.
And finally, on Debatable with Mark Gray, we talk with Keith Watson, the son of former baseball general manager and player Bob Watson.
History frames him as the first general manager. But in Atlanta, they talk of Bill Lucas as the first vice president, though he did both jobs. What do you make of that scenario in terms of how it's playing out historically?
On one hand, you have two men who, in their own individual rights, cracked the glass ceiling of Black participation at the executive level within Major League Baseball. But they were for two different jobs and should be honored and recognized for the individual efforts that they both put in, not to have them kind of conflated in this kind of weird space where they say, well, Bill Lucas was the first vice president, and he also did the GM duties, and Bob Watson was the second, but he was the first one to win a World Series. But the reality is that Bill Lucas was the first Black vice president. Bob Watson was the first Black general manager.
That's our show for this week. I'm Rob Parker. We'll see you again next weekend. And all week long, check in on MLBbro.com for the best coverage of Black and brown major leaguers.